I'm live. How about that? Well, I wanted to come on YouTube today to talk about the aspect that will be exact tomorrow, September 28th, 2022. And I spoke about this in my video, my Mars in Gemini video. You can go check that out. But I really wanted to put some extra focus, extra attention, specific attention on what this is actually about, seeing as the fact that Mars is in Gemini. It was enter Gemini August 20th. It will station retrograde October 30th. The official, retrograde phase will be, the first official date's retrograde is October 31st. If, for instance, if I were to wake up in the morning, on that day, that would be the first day until January 12th. It's going to station direct. It's going to move forwards, and then, March 25th, it will leave Gemini and it will move into Cancer. And so it's a long stay. Mars is hanging out in Gemini for a long time. So that's a very good reason why I wanted to do this. So we have Mars, which is the planet of really, in my mind, it links to the divine masculine. What is, masculinity, action, moving forward, progression, really taking life by the horns and putting in the hard work and, using your strength to, to win a battle or to go on a quest and, start at the bottom of the mountain and climb to the top of it. You're working so hard and you're putting in so much of your energy so that there are results, so that there is, something to be gained from that. And it feels very rewarding and very, you feel in your element and you feel like you're really, getting things done and, moving forward and being productive as you're going through the given process. So, that's pretty big and pretty significant, as a feeling for this Mars trine Saturn. Trines are beautiful. They're harmonious. They, whenever you have a planet and then another planet in the same element, Mars is in Gemini, Saturn is in Aquarius, which really looks at the, the global scale, the humanitarian community, collective tribe, village, but also the world or a country, and evaluating what were the rules set in place at the very beginning. And, is everything running smoothly? On the global level, it's really about long-term structures, because Aquarius is very, mental, intellectual, the sort of, sky, god that, in Greek mythology, really, looking down and, not necessarily that, but, just in general, if you come from a higher perspective and you look down and see what's going on, and you decide, well, let's change something. This is not working properly for people. So let's change this. Let's innovate this. Let's revolutionize this so that it does serve everyone, so that it does serve the masses, and so that the poor, the poorer, people have food and resources and shelter and money, so that everything is on, everyone's on the same playing field, level playing field. There's not really too many, pedestal of the rich and the wealthy on top controlling the commoners or the ones down below, sort of having the checkerboard, and Uranus Uranus can just knock down the checkerboard, and that represents the double standard, that represents the unjust. And so, that Saturn, Mars, and Gemini is really, going through something, making the most out of an experience, really, finding, having a, stimulus or something. I feel like I want to wake up in the morning and initiate this new, can be, health related areas like a diet, or it could also be, writing a novel, or it could be, building, building a building. And this, particular, transit, aspect, Mars trine Saturn, is really all about, achieving that, working towards that. And Gemini is a very, Mars and Gemini, Mars is in Gemini right now, very intellectual sign, very much about what's in the immediate environment, and very social, very, like a butterfly, if you think about, flitting from one flower to the other, always engaging in, new information, like, novels, or, videos, or new people. Gemini, Mars and Gemini, there has to be variety, there has to be, spontaneity, and things can't, get dull, humdrum, the same thing after the other. It's, dried and stale, and, no. Life has to have, spice and flavor to it that does change. And, Gemini doesn't really, want to, when you talk about loneliness, you move into the next sign, and, Cancer is very private and very much more of an emotional sign, which deals with the fourth house in astrology, home and family and caving in. Gemini is moving out, rising out, getting out, and moving about to elsewhere. So maybe it could suggest that maybe Mars trine Saturn, whatever your goal is, then you don't have to do it alone. You have others to help you and to work with, and to add a new viewpoint, or perspective on things, and to lend a helping hand. And really, the art of just sharing an experience together. And Saturn in Aquarius is about, working in a group, collaboration, and, seeing the different viewpoints, weighing, all of them out, and, working with, the mantra for, the saying for Aquarius is, I am, really one in humanity. And that's what it really comes down to and what it's about. Leo opposite Aquarius is the sun. It's the center. It's you, how you want to shine, how you want to be creative and share your gifts to the world. Aquarius is, about the collective. And if you think about the planets orbiting around the sun, and if you think about, again, being one in, the whole, one in humanity. So Mars trine Saturn, getting things done. What is on your to-do list that needs completing? What are you putting off? What is there that you're like, that's too hard. I don't know if I can, there has to be a way to get motivated. And there's several ways to do this. Getting outside, waking up in the morning, putting aside the distractions. Like, if you observe that I'm getting so caught into this, and this over here is taking over my life. When I have this, another issue, another goal that I need to, achieve, another matter of life that needs my attention. So, and something's not going to happen when we just, can think and just talk about it. It is about the action. It is about actually, getting in there and putting in the work. And it may take work. It may be difficult. It may take setting aside time and sacrificing, fun time, sacrificing going to the movies that evening, sacrificing probably going out to the park as opposed to just stepping outside and getting some fresh air and, blowing off part of, the afternoon or, what have you. Because, and I have a, an Instagram and a Facebook post about managing your time and planning is essential. How you going to plan your time and schedule? Don't, go off and, look at, social media or watch, movies or go, hang out with this person over here or, engage in all this stuff when you know that you have something that you need to do, for whatever reason. And I wouldn't recommend putting it off and, and then 5 hours later when you plan, I'm going to do this at this time, but then, I don't want to do this now. And I'm going off and doing those other things. And then time flies by and then you realize, well, I wasted that time. And, Saturn is about, are you really committed? Do you have what it takes, or are you going to go off and do something else? If you want this, then some things you're going to have to work for and, do it yourself. And some things may require, blood, sweat, and tears. Just to say, honestly, but, obviously, tapping into, calming down, making sure that you're grounded, trusting in your higher power, going through it slowly and steadily, enjoying the experience of this thing. All those things should be put into the picture and considered as well with this. And, so Mars trine Saturn, accomplishing your goals, willpower, really using your will, having a, taking a bow and shooting it, taking a, arrow, bow and arrow, hitting that target. Themes with this swell drive, ambition. This is wonderful for any business or, corporations, large corporations really working well, very, really pairing and serving well, and good to take advantage of that if you're in a business or corporation, or if you are someone working at a high level, major level industry, which which does require the work and does require sacrifice and things to be put aside, to put in the work, because Saturn is really knocking on your door and coming to your table. And it's like Jupiter is very benefic. It gives blessings, benefits, just it's like a door opening in your favor, and everything's so wonderful. Life is a party, life is great. But Saturn offers up an opportunity in the opposite ways. It holds that back. And there may be blocks in the road, there may be difficulties, may have a hard time getting motivated. But if you can work, it really tests you. Saturn does give the test and strengthens your character, and of course like really gives you the reality check, like, are you really focused to do all it takes? You're really serious about this, those things. So, and other themes with this: focus and discipline as well. Success, strength, very strong leadership. Mars is the warrior energy. It's the male energy. Take the lead. It rules Aries. It's the first sign of the zodiac. I'm going to take the reins. I'm in charge. My way or the highway. And while the direct leadership, I'm in charge. You can rely on me, and I as the leader of the band. Because there has to be a kind of leader at one point, to stand up and pull everyone together and play that role. But I could also if you think of this, transits, aspects, signs, planetary placements also have the shadow. And the shadow is being too bossy, too authoritative, arrogant, controlling, domineering, to the point of being overpowering, too serious, kind of unfeeling or cold, because Saturn links to coldness. And if Saturn is making a hard aspect to the moon, that could maybe indicate kind of repression and hard to feel or express the emotions, and more you're more disciplined when it comes to expressing your feelings, and what feelings should I express and what feelings aren't necessary to express, and how am I going to express these feelings. So this is strong male energy. Mars is very masculine. The warrior energy. Fighting till the day is done. Fighting and not surrendering. No retreat, no surrender until I win the battle. And really fighting with excellence as well is another thing. There's also Mars trine Saturn, as I said, the bossiness comes in, the ego, masculine male energy, links to the ego mind. And, that's what this is all about. So, thank you for tuning in. I am going to sign off now, and I look forward to connecting with all of you another time. Bye for now.